Well, well, well. Call me the king of picks. Because look at these results here. I have my picks on the screen. I crushed it today. I think I went, 10-2 or something like that? I don't know. I didn't count. Either way, UFC Fight Night Saudi, Adesanya versus Imavov just took place. I literally was at work when this card happened and had an AirPod in and was listening to it and running back and forth, trying to get what I could out of it. So this breakdown's not going to be super in-depth, but I did want to break down the card and go over all the results. The first prelim of the night was Hamdi Adalabababab versus Jamal Pogues. I picked Hamdi to win this by early rounds finish, but it went to decision, and I thought the decision was kind of rough from what I've seen. Now, even looking at the stats, it looked like Jamal Pogues probably should have got this done. They gave it to Hamdi by split decision. Who cares, right? Who cares? It's two fat heavyweights. I don't really care who won. Then we had Bogdan Grad versus Lucas Alexander. I picked Bogdan Grad. He got it done by round 2 TKO. He looked really good. Lucas Alexander had a couple moments. He looked okay on the feet. He even got some top position, but he ended up getting crushed by Bogdan Grad in round 2. Good finish for him. I didn't really get to watch this one, I'm not going to lie, so I don't have a lot to say. Here was my first L. I picked Mayra Bueno Silva. She literally went down in weight. She had the size advantage. She's done pretty well in her career. She has some good wins on her resume. Jasmine Jusidovicius looked pretty good, She got the decision. Unanimous decision. She just totally controlled Mayra. Mayra didn't do anything. I thought Mayra was going to be able to use her grappling and even strike with her, but she got embarrassed, and she sold my parlay. Yeah, I thought Mayra was a good underdog on this card, but I was wrong. Then Terrence McKinney fought the only fighter he can probably beat anymore, Damir Hadzovic. And just as I expected, Terrence McKinney knocked him out in the first round. Didn't go exactly the way I thought. He got on top and landed ground and pound and got him out of there. It makes sense. I forget who he called out. He literally called out someone who's not even that relevant because he's irrelevant. Good for him. Here's where it gets interesting. Shamil Gaziev, the GOAT himself, the only man that's capable of stopping Tom Aspinall and John Jones, put him in a handicap. He got the first round finish over Thomas Peterson. I didn't know if this was going to be a finish for him. I forget what I picked. I think like second or third round TKO maybe. He landed just across a straight, knocked out Thomas Peterson, blobbed on him, It was impressive. It was a good win for Shamil Gaziev. He didn't do amazing in this fight, but, that's our GOAT, Thomas Peterson, of course, a great fighter. No, he's not. Shamil Gaziev needed to win this fight, and he did. Seeing this on his resume, a first-round knockout, that's exactly what you need to see against a guy like Thomas Peterson. Gaziev's back, guys. He's so back. Rozenstruik wouldn't want to see Gaziev tonight, I'll tell you that much. Muhammad Naimov beat Conor Offley, as most of us expected. It went to decision. Naimov looked really good. It was a pretty decent fight. Offley's a pretty good fighter, but yeah, Naimov got it done. I don't have a lot to say about these. I didn't get a great chance to watch some of these. But the main card I definitely saw more of because I was able to at work. I set my little phone up. I could have gotten in trouble. Don't tell my work. I'll get fired. Anyways, Fares Ziam versus Mike Davis. This was my scariest pick of the night, honestly. I went with Fares Ziam, but Mike Davis is pretty good. Mike Davis looked awful in the beginning. He started to do a little better. It was actually quite a good fight. Mike Davis he kind of threw it away in those early rounds, and Fares Ziam did really well. Now, what I'm surprised about is Fares Ziam was able to not get taken down so much because we've seen him get controlled like crazy. I'm glad he got it done. That was a good pick by me and went to decision, and I thought he clearly got it, so that was a good underdog pick for me right there. Followed up by my favorite pick of the night. Another underdog. I picked Vinicius Oliveira to beat Said Nurmagomedov. Why was that so hard for me to say? It was a scary pick. But I'm telling you, I believe in Vinicius Oliveira. I think this dude's a beast. He had a broken rib and he did that to Said Nurmagomedov. And he called out Umar. That fight's not going to happen yet. But, baller. Vinicius Oliveira is a beast. He made Bernardo Sapage look like Bernardo Nomas. He made Ricky Simone looking like Ricky Sano. And now he beat Said Nurmagomedov so bad he's Said. No more beating me up. Vinicius Oliveira, he's super exciting. He's incredible. His takedown defense looked good tonight. I thought he lost the first round, but he clearly took the 2 in my opinion. He did great with the grappling. He's a crazy striker. He's really good, guys. And this was him with a broken rib. Imagine if he didn't have a broken rib. Like what? Vinicius Oliveira is like a top 5 to 10 fighter for me in the UFC right now. I love this dude. He's so fun to watch. I think he's a problem in the bantamweight division. Let's get him up the rankings. I don't want them to push him too much. I don't think that Umar fight should happen yet, but maybe 1 or 2 more wins and we could see it. Oh man, Sergey Pavlovich versus Jairzinho Rozenstruik. So I picked Pavlovich to kill Rozenstruik in the first round, which I think that makes sense. I know Rozenstruik hasn't gotten knocked out much. He got knocked out by Ngannou, but that's fine. I thought Pavlovich would be able to do that because he has power. Pavlovich looks like a different fighter ever since he tasted defeat. Obviously, he got knocked out by Aspinall. Then he just got schooled by Volkov, and he just looks a little tentative in my opinion. They just went back and forth, kind of pitter-patter, back and forth. Pavlovich was doing a little bit more. And then once, 2 minutes or 2 to 3 minutes were left on the clock, he just get control of him and take him down. And I literally did a simulation on UFC 5 of this, and Pavlovich was going for takedowns, and I was screaming how unrealistic it is. And this man secured 2 takedowns tonight. So, I guess they know best. It was definitely not what I expected from this fight, and I thought if it was going to go to decision, Jairzinho Rozenstruik would probably outpoint him. I'm glad Pavlovich won, because it would be weird if Rozenstruik was a top 5 fighter, but what do you do for Pavlovich next? I don't know. This was a dull fight. Probably my least favorite fight of the night. Then, in the co-main event, Sharabullet Magomedov took on Michael Venom Page. I picked Michael Venom Page, and he got it done. No one can beat Michael Venom Page if they're trying to strike with him. I thought for sure Shara would at least try to go for a takedown, but believe it or not, Michael Page went for the clinches and even a takedown in this fight. Just tried to switch it up. You can't strike with this dude. Shara's good. I think he's good, but he's not going to be a champion ever. You're not going to beat someone like Michael Venom Page if you just try to strike with him, especially if you only have one eye. Michael Page's distance management is elite, top of the line for the UFC. And he couldn't even let Shara get his best weapon off, which were his kicks. Shara uses the distance management by kicking, and Michael Page just wouldn't allow that, and he blitzed in with some big moves. He does just enough. He does slightly better than his opponent to win a round, but those slight things he does are big. He'll land a big elbow when you're trying to land little leg kicks. It's crazy. Michael Page is really good. I thought Shara could have gotten the 3rd round, and I think one judge did give him that, but it was a clear win for MVP. I think Shara is still good, but I don't think he's going to be able to make it to the top here, especially because we haven't seen him against a grappler, and I think a grappler kills him. I can kind of say the same about Michael Page, though. If you're on the feet with Michael Page, though, you're getting cooked. So if he proves he has good takedown defense in future fights, Michael Page is dangerous. I know he's moving back down to welterweight. I'm excited to see what's going on there. And in the main event, Israel Adesanya versus Nasruddin Imavov. Wow. What a result. Nasruddin Imavov knocked Izzy out in the 2nd round. I picked Adesanya because that's what my gut told me, but I did have a large feeling that Imavov would be able to get this done, especially after watching some other people talk about this fight. They kind of convinced me, but I stuck with my pick. I'm not making excuses for it. I picked Izzy. I thought he was going to outpoint him. I thought he was going to do the Izzy special and just kind of leg kick at range. What I will say is Izzy looked really good in the 1st round, in my opinion. He was being way more aggressive than we're used to seeing Adesanya be in 5-round fights. He was landing some big shots. He was stuffing takedowns. He even tried to get a flip of his own. It was impressive. He did get caught by a big uppercut, which was alarming, but he took it. So I was like, okay, he's fine. He's fine. Imavov came out in the 2nd round, 30 seconds in, cracked him with a right, dropped him bad, and then hit him again. And Izzy was out after that 2nd punch on the ground. People were calling early stoppage online. You're coping. It was a good stoppage. I know he was making his way back up, and could it have gone on? Probably, but was it going to be okay for Adesanya? I think a couple more punches were going to land, and Imavov was going to be able to finish him anyways. Imavov's good. I didn't think he was going to be able to get this done. Kind of crazy that Nasruddin Imavov has a win over Adesanya. Don't know what's next for Izzy. I don't think he's going to retire, and I don't think he should. He's losing to top guys. It's okay. I think if he loses 1 or 2 more, he should call it quits. But I'm not even a big Adesanya fan. I think him as a person is kind of gross. So I'm glad Nasruddin Imavov won. It's just crazy for the division now. End of an era for real. But that was the fights tonight, or this morning, I guess. Crazy results. I went 9-2 today. Subscribe, because 9-2. But yeah, it was a fun night of fights. I mean, the card was okay. I'm just proud of myself for my picks. I'll be here all week, speaking of all week, next week we got Drickus versus Strickland, and I'll have my picks out for that on Monday. Thank you for watching. If you're new here, like, comment, and subscribe. It really does help out, and I'll see you later. Peace.